Yo, dudes! Welcome to the second half of the 2020 COVID edition Peanut Butter Jelly Time League season. This is week 8 in review, and what a weird week it was. Scoring all year long has been absolutely insane, and yes, I know this isn't 2005 or whenever we started this league, and we weren't really scoring points for anything. But this is the first week where we've had 5 of 6 games featuring a winner scoring over 100 with a loser scoring under 100. I think this is the first time all season that less than half of the league went over that 100-point threshold. Let's start with the one game that didn't fit that MO and also happened to be the closest game of the week. The Lake Show outlasts Baltimore Dragers 99.64 to 98.54. Rocker castoff Matthew Stafford led the way for the Lake Show with 32.44 points, a season high for him. That was on 24 of 42 passing for 336 yards and 3 touchdowns. Hill had 23.8 and Dobbins added 14.6. for the Lake Show. Dragers, led by Aaron Rodgers, 30.54. Boyd had 16.6. And Jamal Williams, 15.2. High score of the week goes to Belichick yourself. He crushes St. Lucia Zooks, 137.42 to 80.24. DK Metcalf puts up 36.1 points on 12 catches for 161 yards and 2 touchdowns. Let's see, where Henry had 19.2 and Allen Robinson 17.7. Russell Wilson puts up 36.74 points for the Zooks. Montgomery added 11.5 and Singletary 9.7. Metcalf and Russell put up mad points this week, but not as much as Dalvin Cook. He led Cobra Kai to victory over the Rockers, 132.66 to 95.5. Cook had 49.6 points on 30 carries for 163 yards, 3 touchdowns. They're coming to get me. You probably can't even hear that siren. 3 touchdowns plus 2 catches for 63 yards and his 4th touchdown. Ask Ben about the Cookie Monster. Anyway, let's see. And another score. All right, so that was Dalvin Cook's best game of the season by more than 20 points. Kelsey had 22.9, his best game of the year. And a Gio Bernard sighting as he puts up 21.3 for, you guessed it, his best game of the year. And just for fun, Sucky Suckup tied his best outing of the year with 13 points. For the Rockers, who are completely out of control on a 3-game losing streak, they led by Julio Jones and 19.2 points, Jacobs 14.9, and Kirk, I don't like it, Cousins 12.4 points. Whatever. All right, so that damn Dalvin Cook had 49.6 points, but still not the top scorer of the week. Mahomes scores 51.64 as he literally carries the Headbangers to victory over Bathtub Gin, 103.44 to 76.66. Mahomes accounts for 50% of Sheboygan Headbangers' points as he goes 31 for 42 for 416 yards. Dalvin, he had 5 touchdowns. What's wrong with you? That's his second 50-point outing, 50-point plus outing of the season. Cup had 18.5, and the KCD chipped in 10 points to lead the way for the winners. For Bathtub Gin, Brady, 23.06, Keenan Allen, 17.2, and Don't Steal My Lutz Chips, 13 points. All right, I guess I'm not supposed to laugh at my own dumb jokes, right? All right. In the Battle of the Titans, Mambunga established his dominance over the Dogs, 128.22 to 84.76. Herbert leads for Mambunga with 27.22 points on 29 of 43 passing for 278 yards and 3 touchdowns. He did have 2 INTs, but he made up a little bit of that on the ground with 21 yards rushing. Devontae Adams, 26.8, and the Pittsburgh defense, 18. I know you guys don't want to talk about that game. Dogs' high score comes from Robert Woods, 24.9, Mike Williams, 18.5, and Josh Allen had 12.46. Last, but certainly not least, Pilot Lights topped the Rattlesnakes, 118.72 to 68.04. Tannehill led the Lights with 21.32 points, and the Philly D had a big game versus the crappy Cowboys. More on the Cowboys later. As they scored 21 points with 2 fumble recoveries, 4 sacks, a safety, and a touchdown, and only allowed 9 points to said crappy Cowboys. Kamara had also 20.8 in that winning effort. Rattlers led by Matt Ryan with 17.94, Mike Evans 14, Mike Davis 8.2. All right, standings. In the Drunken Clam, Mambunga taking full advantage of the rocker slide to jump out to a 2-game lead. Mambunga sits at 6-2, Class City Rockers 4-4, with Rattlesnakes and Lake Show pulling up the rear at 3-5. The top half of the Brewers division lost this week, while the bottom half won. When the dust settled on week 8, the Dogs still held first place at 5-3, but the entire rest of the division is 1 game behind, with Zooks, Headbangers, and Lights all at 4-4. I don't know why the studio lights are making me sweat this morning. Quahog division, Belichick wins. He's 6-2. Cobra Kai quietly sneaking up the ranks, now 4-4, and 2 games back of Belichick. Bathtub making the Rockers look good. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Now 3-5 with losers of 5 in a row. And they are 3 games out. And then finally, the Dragers 2-6, 4 games out in the Quahog division. Big games coming up this weekend. We have the 5-3 Dogs versus 6-2 Belichick yourself. And we also have the 6-2 Mambunga versus 4-4 Cobra Kai. Incidentally, those are the only games with both teams at least 500. I don't know if it's parity in the league or if we all just completely suck. I haven't figured it out yet. All right, so let's see what else we got here. News and notes. COVID. To the best of my knowledge, it doesn't look like we're looking at moving or pushing back or losing any games this weekend. However, after being cut by the Rockers and then putting up his best game of the season for the Lake Show, Matthew Stafford finds himself on the COVID-19 list again. I really didn't read the story, so I don't know how he was on it and off it and back on it. I don't know. But anyway, Stafford on the COVID-19 list. 49ers put 4 on the COVID list. So I don't know. Again, I haven't heard anything about these games being in any kind of jeopardy. So we'll just move on. The Cowboys. Sounds like they're just having live tryouts down there in Big D. This week, they're going to go with a new quarterback. They're not sure who it is, but it's not the guy who played last week, who we don't know whose name it is. This week, we have Garrett Gilbert Godfrey or Cooper Kupp Rush, both available on the waiver wire. They'll be starting. One of those two will be starting. However, there is a rumor that they may be bringing Danny White back for this game. I think maybe the 4 of us get that reference. Anyway, tonight is Thursday. It's Thursday in Pigtown. I know I'm running a little bit late. There was this thing called an election this week. That took up some of my time. Okay, I'm still watching the Marvel series on Netflix. That took up a little bit of time. But we still have it out before game time on Thursday. Tonight's game features Green Bay at San Francisco, or Santa Clara, depending on how you want to look at it. And then we have our bye week teams this week. Cincy, Cleveland, the state of Ohio takes the week off. The LA Rams and the first place NFC least Eagles are on bye this week. So make arrangements with your lineups. Get your bye guys out of there. Get everything ready for the weekend. It looks like a pretty good game tonight to make up for that stinker Pats-Jets game on Monday night. Who knows? Maybe sometime between now and the next time we talk, we'll have a new president or a president. Some president, a winner president. However you want to look at that. All right, guys, that's it. I'm out. 10 minutes, 41 seconds.